Hey guys, this is my Sig Sauer P365 DH3 AXG. And when I first got this, I asked you guys, what optic should I get on this? And this is the one I finally went with. This is the Sig Sauer Romeo-X Sig-Loc Compact. A lot of you guys wanted to see this, and actually this ships with a lot of the 365 models. Surprisingly, they didn't sell it with the DH3, at least not the time when I purchased this. So today we're gonna go over this, give you my overall thoughts on how it is and what I think they could do a little bit better. But I will say, I do like it. I think it fits this slide pretty well, but there's a lot we will talk about. So before we get into that, guys, I do wanna let you know that Sig did not send this optic out to me. I did purchase it with my own money. So no one's paying me to say anything about this or tell me what I can and can't say. This is gonna be a completely honest, raw review for you guys. So while we're holding this, yes, this is empty. There is no magazine. It's all safe for YouTube standards. So starting off, what makes this thing so unique is the footprint itself. This is their Sig-Loc footprint, which basically changes two things compared to most other optics. First, you guys will notice that there are no holes up top or any hardware. Everything is mounted from underneath, which actually gives a much cleaner aesthetic look. And honestly, I really think this is gonna be the way of the future as more and more optics go to this. The other big difference about this is there's a little tab in the front of this optic that fits into a hole that's already set in the slide, giving you 5 points of contact, so giving you a stronger lockup. And again, I really think Sig thought pretty well about how to do this right. And I do like it a lot. This is actually my second Sig-Loc. I do have the Pro version on my 226. And this is the smaller brother, the Compact here. So the optic itself is made of 77.5 aluminum and only weighs an ounce. It is fully sealed and enclosed. Personally, guys, for an EDC, I do prefer going with an enclosed optic just because all the lint and random stuff that could get caught in there, it's easier to clean. It's just one less thing to worry about. If you guys have noticed on the channel, I've started switching most of my things to enclosed optics. So let's talk about the overall size of this thing. It's just over an inch tall, 1.6 inches long and 1.2 inches wide, which honestly perfectly fits the 365 platform. It's just barely hanging over on other sides. The other thing I forgot to mention earlier is the nice thing about the Sig-Loc Compact setup, how it goes from underneath, is it has a rather low deck height, which allows you to co-witness, which again is one of those things I really look for in a setup. Personally, it's just something I have to have on a carry gun. And this one does it very well, especially with these shorter irons. So the window size is 24 millimeters. The glass is clear, but it does have a slight blue hue to it. I know a lot of you guys, that might be a deal breaker. For me personally, I don't mind it. I'm so used to it at this point. I feel like most optics have some sort of a hue to it. The only one I've ever really used on a pistol that was completely clear was the Acro, and it really didn't make that much of an enhancement for me. So I know you guys like to gripe about the hues on optics, but you know, I really don't see a big deal about it personally. It does come in 3 different reticle options. You have your 3 MOA, your 6 MOA, and your circle dot, and you also can get it in green or red. This one here is the 6 MOA in red. And honestly, I only really picked this one because 1, I found a really good deal on this, and 2, it's the only one I didn't have. You know, I have the circle dot on my 226. I have another Romeo-X that has the 3. I'm like, sure, let's try out the 6, just have the whole set, I guess. As far as the buttons go to adjust the brightness, they are rather small, but they do have a nice shroud around them that will help prevent accidentally hitting them. In this sample size of 1, I did notice that the down button had a slightly more positive click than the up button, but overall, I think they're a little mushy. They could definitely be improved, and neither of them really have any sort of audible sound to them. So I do think that is one of the things on this thing. Yes, it works, but could it be better? I think it could. So that's just my 2 cents on that. This optic does have 15 settings for brightness. 3 of them are dedicated to night vision. And I will say, as far as the bright settings, this thing's plenty bright for me. And I'm shooting here in the sunny days of Florida. So I have no problems with it. I think you get plenty of customization with that. And honestly, I think it gets pretty low as well. I really don't have any sort of complaints as far as the actual brightness of the dot. One nice feature that you do get with this is that you have a side-loaded battery. You know, a lot of the optics before, at least the older style, you really would have to remove your optic to replace the battery, which is really just a pain in the ass because then you got to re-zero it. I really like the ones that have a battery on the side. I think that's a nicer feature. Personally, I don't mind seeing that protrude from the side. When shooting, I don't even notice it there. But that is definitely one thing that I do like about this optic. As far as the battery, it does run on a CR1632. It says it has 20,000 hours of life. Honestly, I don't think any of us really see that. But it does have motion sense in it, so this will turn off when sitting after 2 minutes. So depending on how often you really carry it or use it will dictate how long that life is. Honestly, guys, just get in the habit of changing it every year. That's the easiest thing to do. I keep a spreadsheet for mine, and that way you never run into that issue. So as far as the adjustment turrets, I do think they work well. They both have a audible tactile feel, which I really do like. My only gripe with them is that the tool itself is super, super tiny. So my fear would be that people would lose that tool. Honestly, that's probably the only negative I have on it. Other than that, it's, you know, very clean, hard to notice. I think they work well. I don't really have any issues with them. As long as you keep that tool handy and know where it is, you'll be good to go. My overall thoughts on this, honestly, I think it's really one of the better optics, especially for concealed carry. I like how slim it is. I like that everything is contained. You don't see any hardware. It looks super clean. I really think this is a good value. It's not the cheapest optic, but it's also not the most expensive. And honestly, if you guys look, you can find pretty good deals. I found this one for over 100 less than what normally it sells for, so that's why I jumped on it. But once you really look for those deals and find it, it really becomes one of the better options. Even full price, I don't think it's bad. And honestly, a lot of the new SIGs are shipping with these. Like I think the Fuse and most 365s have this on there. I think actually the DH3 with the polymer grip, actually you can get that as an option. I don't know why they did not offer it on the AXG, because I think it's gonna be the optic a lot of people lean towards. But I really like it, guys. I think it fits it. I don't think the window's too small. I think it is a really good optic for everything that it is. But you guys let me know. Have you guys shot this? What do you guys think of this? Is there a better optic out there? What optic would you guys like me to review next? I always appreciate your guys' feedback. So if you have something different in mind or you want to see me check something out in the future that I haven't covered already, let me know in the comments below. But as always, guys, I appreciate you guys tuning in. Stay tuned. We got a lot more good content. Peace.